sort of lost some of that shadow, so I'm going to put some in first. So I'm going to darken the eyeball first. With it. Here I'm just using a really mixed shadow. As I mentioned to you earlier, that the eye is not just an organ of reception of looking out, but also the viewer looking into the soul of the person. So that's why I think, I mean, I'm just making that up, but I think that's the effect of it anyway. There's a little depth to the eye that you wouldn't get if it were light all the way through. I'm just darkening that a bit.
If someone can't look you in the eyes, you can't really see them. It's quite strange.
Yeah. Right, so I'm just leaving it to dry while I mix up the blue and white. So you want it sort of semi-opaque. You don't want it so that, I've already mixed it. So I would say I'll mix up a large amount and give you a sample. It's got to be visible, so it can't be really watery, but it can't completely cover what's underneath. That's the case with most things. You always want the background to come through. Some of you will be making your brow and your beard too opaque, so avoid that. Get the concentration right. I'd say it'd be roughly 50%. This is the grey under the white of the eye.
So the raw umber and white.
Raw umber and white, yeah. Make sure the raw umber, not burnt umber. Burnt umber is more the red.
The grey of the eye.
Yeah. Now, wonderful trick of the trade is, if you want the eyeball to look this way, you put most of the highlight and also the grey on the other side. So if I put the white there to push the eye that way, so you've got to decide which way you're having it. So if I'm doing that way, I want my eyes to look more to that side, so you put the highlight on that side. Okay. So with the grey, you put it mostly on the side you're going to have your highlight, but you do put a little bit round the other side. So you can see here, the white's only on that side, but the grey comes around the other side a bit as well. So roughly 2/3 there and about 1/3 there, and a little bit underneath. So we want the highlight to go mainly on the left, so I'm going to put most of it on the left. But you must leave some of your dark shadow exposed, so you're not filling the whole of the white. So you've got a bit of your dark shadow that I've put in there exposed.
So this dark shadow is just your chestnut?
No, your flesh shadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not chestnut, it's flesh shadow. So you might have to adjust that. I need a bit more white. Mine's a bit too dark.
You're using a zero on your brush?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's got to be pretty accurate, so small brush would be best. So underneath, and a crescent to the left, and just a little bit round there. So the shape you're looking for is, use another colour. Another colour, so here. I've got my pencil case somewhere. Use that colour. So pretend this is the grey, so the shape would be something like that, of the grey. Right? So a little bit underneath, most there, and a little bit there, leaving some of the shadow exposed. Now you can, because this is semi-opaque, you can actually adjust the shape of your iris. I think one or two of you, your iris was too big. So at this point, you can trim the bottom of it a bit. So that's about right. I want to take a photograph of that close up before I put the rest over it. It's two crescents, thin, thick, thin. But please make it a crescent, not a string.
Pure white.
Yeah, but about 80% opaque, so that you've got a bit of the grey coming through.
Whites and
You got that?
they're on a sheet. Do you see the whites?
When it all settles, you may find you've got to go over it again because it'll be less white as it dries, but that's the beginning. Principle of graduation, there are two black lines on the brow there, aren't there? Are they the same length?
No, one is longer. One is
Exactly. Why is that?
shorter.
Which is the shorter one, the top or the bottom one?
The top,
So why do you think we've done that?
so that the top of the brow blends in. with
Yeah,
the-
exactly. Yeah. So again, this whole idea of gradually building up, and it doesn't go right to the end. If the black went right to the end there, again, you haven't got into the gradually building up. So everything's gradually building up right to left and top down. So this will be a thin, thick one. So this is where you're practiced before, and then one that's like that. And the top one shouldn't go right up to the edge of your brow. In other words, some of this brown that you put in should stick out beyond the black. If you want that black right on the edge, why do you think that's not a good idea?
Because it'll jump out too much.
Exactly, yeah. So you've got that. Now we do the lips, talking, Brian, about one thing makes a big change. This little bit at the end of the lip gives it a bit of a smile. So this is like a horizontal teardrop. Sharp, then fat. Then often with the beard, with Christ, that joins up with the lower black line and the moustache. How many lines are there on that one there? How many black lines? 3. Each smaller and smaller, aren't they? Yeah. So this is where you want to ensure you've got that change of direction with the black line. If you haven't got it, you can establish it now. So thin, thick, thin. You can actually join up with that line you've made. And thin there. Let's join them up a bit. Then here, thin, thick, thin, and then the smaller one still. You can water that down a bit, so as you go out, they're actually getting more translucent. See that there? That's quite opaque, then gradually it's getting more translucent.
Okay.
And don't let them be wiry. It's better to do 2 if you feel you're a bit cramped, then 3 and they'll all be wiry. They must be thin, thick, thin, so don't be over ambitious with your space. But you want to avoid those wiry lines that are the same thickness the whole way. That one's a bit wiry. That's a terrible one I've done there, so I'm going to redo that to make it a bit more interesting, a bit thicker in the middle. And that one there hasn't got enough substance. Something like that. So without having a cheesy smile, you've got a bit of warmth there, just by having that little bit of black there. Okay.
It's amazing it does that, but the shape, the modeling, I
Yeah.
guess it's kind of a half cross between calligraphy and modeling.
Yeah. Then a little bit of a nostril, so just a little bit of black there, where the nostril hole would be. And if you're doing hands, just a little bit of a dot there, here and there, makes a big difference. Same idea as the lip creates a shadow, so just boop there. That's a big difference. Okay, so we'll now do the beard, same idea as with the brow. Might be an idea to add a little bit of water now, so it's not too, or even just a touch of red, otherwise it might be a little bit too harsh. So just soften
Is
it.
this, sorry, you said, have you been working with pure black so far then?
Yeah, I did actually sneak in a touch of yellow, just so it's not too bold.
Okay.
At the moment, that looks a bit too bold, but we haven't done the here and that yet at all from him. So here you want all these lines here, thin, thick, thin, aren't they? So you want a slightly bigger brush. I think if I use this brush, when I push down, it wouldn't actually make it wide enough. Well, I'll try, but I think probably a 1 would be better. So study hard. So let's start at the top. Are they all the same length, those 4 lines there?
No,
Yeah. Are they straight or curved or what?
curved.
Curved, okay. So let's start with that. That's important, that, to accentuate the cheekbone. See that really strong crescent there. That's really important.
If you've done a little bit back in the ears or not,
Around the outside, not the inside. So now a longer one, shorter one, shorter one, shorter one. Try to be calligraphic with it, so try not to have to do it 5 times. This is quite a sharp one, this one, so you need to do it in 2 movements to ensure that you've got really good thickness at the bottom.
You have to look quite carefully to work out which are the calligraphic
Yes,
lines you draw
yeah.
and which is the background.
Yeah. And with these lines here, as with the brow, don't go right up to the edge. You see a bit of that middle brown sticking out below? Yeah. If you put the black line right to the end, how would that change things for the worse?
make it harsh.
Again, harsh, yeah. You always want that middle transition. Perhaps have 2 mixes, a more watery one. So this is more opaque and thicker and darker, and then as you go in, it becomes more watery. So you've got a gradual melting into the final joining of the flesh and the beard. You see how important it is to control the pressure as well as the horizontal direction. The pressure increases or decreases the thickness. Here, which side is the thickest line on that triangle there? Left or right? Left, okay. And then here, just 2 or 3 little gentle crescents, a bit watery. If you find that these lines are too harsh or too dark or something's not right, you can just go put a wash of your beard colour over the top to sort of blend it in a bit. So you can sort of go backwards and forwards for a while until you've got it right. If in doubt, have it more watery, then you can always build it up. So this is a bit too harsh. Too black. Yep, so I'm going to take that off. So probably up here we'll add some red. It's going to fade a bit. Not fade, but calm down a bit. Now the black jumps out a lot, but then you put the white and the reds in, and that will change the balance. Okay. So I think we'll stop there, and then I'll do another demonstration for the reds and the final thing. So the next demonstration will finish all the flesh, but we'll leave that for that.